Today on Girl Talk with Crystal, we're going to talk about turning your breakdowns into breakthroughs. And as you know, weekly I choose the topic based on what I'm going through or what I'm inspired by or the aha moments that I had that I want to share with you guys. And so this one was one that kept coming up because, well, a couple of reasons. But I had shared recently on my Instagram story how my babysitter and the girl that it sounds so fancy when I say my chef, but my chef and my babysitter quit on me in the same week, literally. And I was like, I felt like my world was crumbling down. Now, let's take a moment to acknowledge that those are both luxuries. So obviously my world wasn't literally crumbling down, but be mindful. This is something I always remind people of, that everyone has a devil on their back. And what I mean by that is we are not to judge like, oh, boo-hoo, your babysitter and your chef quit, like get over it, because that's a luxury. In my world, my life was set up around these two things. Like when people ask me, how do you function with 5 kids? Like I have a babysitter here right now, and she's probably like at her wit's end because she's like, you have to have so much patience to have 5 kids. I'm like, yeah, that's why I have help. And so having a babysitter, my babysitting setup was Monday and Wednesday. No matter what, they Sorry. Okay. So you guys are muted. So if you want to come on and say anything, just unmute yourself when that time comes. But Monday and Wednesday, I knew no matter what. So my life got planned around that. If I had a lash appointment, hair appointment, doctor's appointment, calls, my businesses were run around Mondays and Wednesdays. And that's when I would schedule all my activity in my life that I didn't want to have my kids present for. And then Tuesday was like an off day. Like some days I would have help and some days I wouldn't. And then Thursday, Friday were not working days. And this came from my first breakdown of that created that schedule was the breakdown of not feeling productive in any areas of my life. I wasn't being a good wife, a mom, a businesswoman. I was just kind of like feeling like a crazy person in all those areas. And I remember that I didn't hear this wasn't the change, but the best way I can put words to this, recently I heard it said this way, is that in motherhood, we multitask to survive. Like we're constantly doing multiple things. But in business, that kills your business. If you're multitasking in business, you're killing your business because you're not focusing on any one thing. You're just kind of like whatever. And I was doing my life in stolen moments. So it would look like feeding my kids and then putting them in front of a TV and doing a call, or like them playing outside and me sitting there with them, but I'm working on emails or whatever. And so I was not present as a mom, and I wasn't fully present in my business because I kept having to put my business down to feed them, put them down for a nap, whatever it was that I had to do. It was like stop, go. And so my breakdown was this multitasking chaos. And the breakthrough was, why don't I just get a babysitter consistently? Because at that time, I only got babysitters when I needed one. Like if I knew I was going somewhere and I couldn't take kids, or if I had an appointment, and then it wasn't consistent. So I couldn't build consistency in my life. So I don't know even when I started doing that, but once I started doing that, it was like game changer. I was so much more productive because and it's powerful what you can do even with 20 minutes. Like try it. Try 20 minutes of undivided one task. Like you're just going to do one thing, whether it's laundry, whether it's house stuff, or whether it's something in your business. Try 20 minutes of any one thing, and you'll be surprised of how much you get done when you don't exit to check Instagram every 5 seconds, when you don't check every text message that comes through as it comes through, when you don't get a notification that someone posted on, Facebook, or like I use Voxer for business, so I'm in tons of Voxer chats, so I'm getting Voxer alerts, and then I'll exit and check someone's Voxer, so I'm there, but then I was supposed to be booking a hotel for my trip, and then whatever. So try just 20 minutes of tunnel vision. When I added Monday and Wednesday of just like 8 to 3, is just work, no interruptions for kids, because now there's a babysitter putting them for nap and feeding them and doing all those things. I was so much more productive. I didn't need 5 days a week. And recently I heard my mentor say that when she was in a scramble, in a bind in her business, when she was like desperate for cash flow in her business, her mentor told her, "You're overworked. You're so stressed, you can't be productive." And so she said, "You need to work 3 days a week and that's it." And she's like, "How can I be struggling? I'm not making money, but you want me to work less days a week?" She's like, "Do it." And so she created what she calls flex time in her business, which now she only works until I think like 2 or 3, like when she picks up her son from school. She doesn't work in the evenings, and then she doesn't work the last week of the month and the last month of the year. And that's her flex time. So I create my own flex time where now I have help. Mondays and Wednesdays I work. Tuesdays, Thursday, Friday is more like mommy stuff, gymnastics, play dates, all of that, hanging out, whatever. Sometimes I do a little bit of work here and there, but I'm not like immersed in my work. And then at 4 o'clock, I shut down and my phone goes dark and I'm not checking texts and emails and all of that. So I've built this breakthrough through that breakdown. And so, hold on, asking for help is major. Yeah. So um and to that point, when like I really want to make a shirt that's like Superwoman is boring, because so many people want to be Superwoman. So today at 11 we had in the Fox Project Inner Circle, which is a monthly theme. Every month we have a theme, and it's just this membership of women who are committed to their better self. And this month our theme is sexuality. And our guest speaker today was talking about how our womb is like the center, our gut. It's the center of our being. It's what creates our well-being. It's where we get to listen, our intuition, all of that. And she was saying how especially when we give birth to a baby, we don't let ourselves rest. And I was thinking about how when I had my fifth daughter, I went to this conference because I was on the committee and I was planning, and I'm like, if I have the baby, I'm going. So it was like 4 days after I had the baby, I was driving down to LA with baby in tow, and I was up in a conference. And then hearing today what she said, she's like, your body, your womb needs full, complete healing in order for it to come back to life and be fully sustainable. And so it totally like shifted my badge of honor. I used to wear this badge of honor of like, I don't need help. I can do it all. I can cook, I can clean, I can take care of my family, I can run a business, I can do everything. I can be Superwoman. And that's not a badge of honor. We get to create a village. We get to ask for help. We get to depend on other people and ask for support. And so going to today's topic about your breakdown being a breakthrough, what I want to really drive home with this subject is I'm so glad you're here. I'm glad I needed this, and that's why I'm sharing it. Literally every week it's just like, what did I need to hear? Like my Monday emails are all about like, what carried me last week? What aha did I have? What can I give? And then the Wednesday talks are all about like, what am I going through? What aha moments that I have that I can pay forward? And so this breakdown is one. And so going back to how I brought this up, when my chef and my babysitter quit, this is why I believe in the power of mentorship and community, because I shared it with my mentor and my support group. And I'm like throwing this pity party, like, I can't believe she just up and quit. And then my babysitter, she's been with me for 7 years. She's like family. I don't know what, blah, 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 blah. And I'm throwing this fit. And in this breakdown, my mentor says, that's feedback. Like, how did you create that? What part did you play in that? And at first, my pride, my ego, I didn't want to take any responsibility. And I teach responsibility. I just got off a call teaching my Fox Project participants all about responsibility and taking responsibility for life happening for you and not to you. But in this moment, I was a victim. I'm like, I can't believe they quit. I don't like, there's no feedback needed. I had no place in this. They quit. But look at the beauty, look at the breakthrough. So I humbled myself and I asked for feedback, and I talked to the girl, the chef, and I talked to my babysitter and then my babysitter's daughter. And without going into too much of the detail, to give you the breakthrough, because I hope you can see yourself in this. With the chef, it was a lack of communication. She didn't feel like she was serving me because I wasn't giving her positive affirmations. I wasn't telling her, oh my gosh, we loved this dish. This food was amazing. Thank you so much. I was raving to everybody else. If you know me, you know that I'm like, oh my gosh, I've been living my best life. I'm not cooking. I love to eat. I do not like to cook. And so, especially now that I'm so driven and I have goals, the last place I want to spend my valuable time is in the kitchen. So I'm like, I'm freaking out. You're telling me you're not a fit for my family, but I love having you. You're like a lifesaver to me. So tell me. And I'm like so caught on wanting to be right about why she's quitting that I'm missing the breakthrough of that. And so one thing that happened was when I was getting my hair done, the girl that does my hair, her cousin cooks, and she's looking to help somebody. So the first aha moment of a breakthrough that I had in this breakdown was, oh my gosh, when God closes a door, instead of fighting it and stopping it from closing, how could you? Why did you? I can't believe this happened, and becoming a victim to your circumstance, look for the breakthrough. Look for the feedback, the opportunity to grow, and the opportunity for new, bigger blessings. So I'm like, oh my God, I sat in that chair, and as soon as I got out, I called the old chef and I said, you know what? I'm so sorry for how I handled you quitting, because you closing that door is your prerogative. Like, you get to close that door. And by having that conversation is how I learned her feedback that I wasn't affirming her. She's like, well, it was because I didn't feel like I was serving you guys. And so the breakthrough that I had was communication. It was instead of assuming that she just quit and I'm like, middle finger to her, she's dead to me because she quit and inconvenienced me. I got to be kind and I got to say, hey, like, what really happened? What's going on? I'm sorry for blowing up. Now let's talk about it. And she communicated. And one thing that I live by is the way you show up in one area of your life is how you show up in all areas. And so what I learned from that moment was, this is something my husband tells me all the time. Like, you always have to be right. You always have to be right. And I couldn't see it. Like, I couldn't see what that looked like, because I'm such an open-minded person. I'm such a learner. I love learning from people. But what it is my self-righteousness shows up when so here's the example. If I'm saying you're quitting and you're telling me it's because you're not a fit, but I want you to say you're quitting because XYZ, I'm like, it has to be something else, because you are a fit for us. We love having you. But I didn't say that. I just was like, no, what is the real reason why you're quitting? Because is it the commute? Is it the pay? Is it whatever? It wasn't until I talked to her that it was like, oh, I'm not voicing my affirmation. And I do that in my real life. I'm not always praising my kids for what they're doing right. I'm focusing on, your room's not clean. You didn't eat all your food. You didn't clean up after your mess. You hit your sister. I'm not focusing on the positives. Or with my husband, like when I talk about him to public, it's like he's the best thing that ever happened to me. I always tell people he's my better half. I love him. He's better than I am. Like, I'm always talking about how amazing he is. But if you're in a conversation with me and my husband, all I'm focusing on is, you didn't do this. Why'd you do it like that? Don't do this. Next time, do that. Like, do this, this, and that. And I focus on the gap versus the vision or the higher, like, well-being. And so the breakthrough was, I got to get feedback of, how did this breakdown take place and what do I get to learn? I got to learn open communication, not assuming. I got to learn, oh, that's what self-righteousness looks like. That's how it's showing up in my life with all my relationships. And then with the babysitter, just quickly to share that one, I asked my babysitter's daughter, like, is your mom okay? What's going on? Like, she quit. And here was my victim story. She's like family to me. How can she just stop after all these years without any notice? And then I realized, I said, well, you know what? I'm glad she's okay. I want to send her a gift to just thank her for working with me and my kids for the last 6 years. We love her like family. When she's not in my home, I'm raving about her. Oh, I love my sitter. She speaks Spanish to my kids. She plays with them. She's hands-on. I love her so much. Do you think I ever told her that? Do you think I ever said, Eva, I love you. Thank you for being hands-on with my kids. Thank you for speaking Spanish to them. Thank you for being so consistent and always being there for me. Because of your help, I'm able to grow my businesses. I'm able to be a better wife and mother because I'm replenished and I have a break for my children. Thank you. Do you think I ever said that? No. Do you think I got her a gift ever? So if she's like family, did I add her to my Christmas list? Did I know? I don't even know what her birthday is in this moment. I don't know what her birthday is. And I want to say she's like family. So the breakdown was the breakdown of losing these people. And the breakthrough was, how did I create that? What part did I play in that? And then getting feedback from them. And so when I told her daughter that I was going to get her a gift, she's like, oh my gosh, she would love that. Gifts are her love language. And I was like, oh my gosh, like I've never given her a gift in the whole time that we've been working with her. And so I had such a breakthrough. And this is just one area of my life, but it's been happening all over, where I'm getting to really see how I get to flex into involving myself with the people that I do life with, and really not seeing life from a one-sided spectrum of, you're here to cook for me, you're here to take care of my kids. Like in some ways I was treating them like the help and not like family to me. So why would I expect them to treat me like anything more than just the paycheck? I don't need your money right now. I'm good. Bye. Right? And so, anyways, it's just so much breakthrough has come from those breakdowns. And so I just want to pose this picture to you from this point forward. And this is the work that we do in the Fox Project. We were just talking about this today. Like they were talking about how self-aware they are and how now they're able to see life from this whole new vision, and their marriages are being improved and their relationships and their friendships are being improved because they're seeing the world from a different perspective. So I want to impart that gift on you. Part of the way that we learn to shift is taking responsibility for the things that happen to us. So when we're late, instead of blaming it on traffic, blaming it on, maybe I didn't prepare. Maybe I could have put stuff out the night before. Maybe I could have left early. Maybe this is what I do. I get up and I sit on the toilet and go pee, but I'm on the toilet for 15 minutes. I'm on the toilet for 15 plus minutes hiding from my kids. I'm going pee while I scroll Instagram until I'm just like, okay, I'm done with this. Like I got to get off, right? And then there goes 15 minutes that I could have been actually getting ready to go. It's like, so I have to take full responsibility for my lateness. I can't blame it on, yeah, there was traffic. That just made me later. I was already setting myself up to be late. So where in your life are you having breakdowns? We all have them. So when you have your breakdowns, know that life is happening for you. Your breakdowns are happening for you. They are your opportunities to grow. Because if life was just perfect and even, then there would be no growth. There would be no opportunity to see a better option, a better version of yourself. There would be no opportunity. So you get to break down so you can break through. So when you have a moment where you feel overwhelmed and stressed and something happens to you, ask, why is this happening for me right now? What do I get to learn? What is the silver lining? What is the lesson that I get to take? How do I get to be a better human because of this moment? And ask for feedback. Know that feedback is neutral. It's not good or bad. And I learned that recently in my leadership work, but I heard it today in the podcast interview that I did, which I'm so excited. Make sure you guys look out for August, the podcast that's coming out all around money and getting your money right. But he was talking about today how when I'm like, is it good or bad to be a narcissist or be insecure? Because we were talking about that. And he's like, nothing in life is good or bad. I'm like, oh my gosh, that's what we learned in leadership too. Like everything is neutral. And the example that they teach in leadership is like on 9/11, when the planes hit the buildings, that was terrible for most of us. But for the guys who did that intentionally, that was a celebration. That was a joyful moment. That was a victory. That was a win. They hit America. They knocked us off of our feet. They caught us off guard. It was a joyful moment. But for us, it was lives lost. It was tragedy. It was fear. It was terror. So nothing in life is good or bad. It's all neutral. It's all, how are you perceiving it? So when you're triggered, when you see it as bad, it's an opportunity to say, why am I triggered? Why did that comment that that person just said to me bother me? Why is this happening to me? If it's an accident, maybe it's to slow you down. Maybe it's like to get a new car. Maybe it's to just shake you up a little bit and remind you that life is precious and it's short, right? So we get to like, and so I'll just close on this note. When I was at my leadership graduation last week, the trainer, she's like, I was just saying this on our call. I don't know if she's 67 or 76 or in her 60s or in her 70s, but she's up there, and she's this vibrant young woman that is just living her best life. And she said part of sorry, um, part of why she's got so much vitality in her older age is because she goes through life as a flow. She's not resisting everything that's happening to her. She's not looking at everything as an attack. And I'm guilty, like, as much of an optimistic, positive, generous, loving, caring person I am, I'm also a perfectionist. I'm also a self-righteous. I have characters like I see things. I don't always see the best in things. So I'm the one that's like assuming the worst. So when something happens to me, I'm like, oh, they're out to get me. Or she said that because, or I'll read text messages and put the implication, like I'll imply like it's like a negative or an attitude or a passive aggressive thing, when really it might not be that at all. And so she was saying her vitality comes from not going through life thinking that worst, but always holding the vision high of thinking the best. And then taking responsibility for whatever the negativity is here. How can I shift it? How can I be the source of change of that instead of blaming it on somebody else? And so when you go through life like that, you really get to live a better, more free life, because you are no longer a captive. You're no longer a victim to your circumstance and to the people around you. You're just like, look, my happiness is in my hands. I control my destiny, and I'm going to take full responsibility for everything that's happening for me. So hopefully this was helpful for you guys. Let me see. Yeah, I don't see any comments. Thank you guys for joining in. I took a couple of weeks off from Girl Talk because my husband's birthday, and then I was in my leadership graduation. So I'm back at it every Wednesday. I do want to just share this. I want to say that I see Ashley just joined. Hi, Ashley. It seems like yesterday, literally, that we were having the conversation of you going to Zone last year. But I'm back in the month of promoting the Zone event. So my mentor, she does an event every year for her clients. She opens it up to our circle of influence and allows people to come and learn from her, learn from other trainers in the industry. She brings like the most relevant business strategies of the time, and she teaches from the main stage. And my favorite part about the Zone event is, yes, the teaching from the stage is powerful, it's relevant, it's applicable, you leave on fire, but I love the connection. I love the after hours when we're done with the main stage and we're all by the pool having lunch and we're conversating, and what's your business? What are you working on? Oh my gosh, I got to put you in touch with this person, or we should collaborate, or I need to work with you. It's just like the connection fest is so real, and being surrounded in a room full of entrepreneurs who are excuse me, who are on fire to make a difference in the world. And you don't even have to be an entrepreneur to feel the energy and to just be in a higher vibration, to be in a room of people who think outside of the box, who think I can actually change lives, who think I can actually live a financially abundant and free life doing what I love. I don't have to be trapped in a job just for a paycheck. I can actually do work that I enjoy doing and monetize it. And I see, Jamie, you're here. You were there last year. So Zone event is happening again this year in September in Palm Springs, California. People flew from all over the country last year. We had people from the East Coast, the West Coast, and everywhere in between. So if you're interested in that, make sure you hit me up so I can send you my link for my like, to the public. I think the tickets are $400 right now, and they'll go up to $1,000 after the early bird, and then for clients it's $200, $197. So oh, are you guys going? Let me see. Yay! Did you already get your ticket, Jamie? That's awesome. So I'm so excited you guys are going. I already know there's about 20 some people I know already who are going. I'm so excited. But if you're an entrepreneur, if you have an idea for a business, if you or if you're just a human that needs a dose of inspiration, consider going to Zone. So make sure you get in touch with me. And then lastly, I will say on July 13th, if you're in California, we're doing a vision brunch. So we're going to have some fun exercises. We're going to make our vision boards. If you already have a vision board, because a lot of my community does, we're going to revamp it, reconnect with it, and just collaborate, connect, and engage and enjoy some connection. So July 13th, that link is in my Instagram bio. If you're on the Zoom, just get in touch with me. But I would love for you guys to be there. If you are a Fox Project Inner Circle member or a Fox Project participant, your ticket is free. So you just buy your $20 ticket. Make sure you ask me for that link. It's a special link. It's not online. Get your $20 ticket to hold your spot, and then you'll get your $20 back when you arrive. That's just because we're planning and stuff. Can your vision board party be linked on? Yes, I will be streaming it as well. So those are some just ways that you guys can connect with me and get in person with me, because I'm really driving the in-person connection right now. Like, online is great, it's powerful, it's the way I'm able to do what I do because of time, but I love being in person with people. And so if we can, come together for a great cause. This year's Zone event is all about creating your legacy. So if you're a human that just wants to leave a legacy, even that doesn't look like a business, go to Zone. Like, start working on what does your legacy look like. So just message me about it, and I will get you the link for that. All right, guys, have a good one. I'll see you guys next week or in between, wherever we hang out together, and I'll talk to you soon.